Osrc News.
Bearing any last-minute change, a group and chaos have engulfed the Gariki area of the Federal Capital Territory following the violent clash between two factions of the National Union of One person has died and 3 others hospitalized after a fully loaded truck upturned its content on the popular Otedola Bridge in West. You're still watching Osrc News at 7 after the break. Unijust students block major roads to protest hike in tuition fee. This and more, please to join us then. Thank you very much for rejoining us. Just live on our website www.ng, or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. 10 years after the former governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Agagu, joined the Saints, his legacies and achievements still reverberate. Residents of Ondo State, particularly his political associates, described the late Agagu as a colossus. In this report, our correspondent Kunle Ario takes a look at the achievement of Ajanaku of Osrc Kingdom, the Gwabani of Iloko Ijesha, Osho State, Atunushi of Iduani, and the Atunushi of Ondo State.
It was heart-rending as emotions ran high when the news of the death of Dr. Olusegun Agagu, the former governor of Ondo State, broke on September 13, 2013. He was said to have slumped and died in his Lagos home at the age of 65. On the 3rd of October 2013, a day before his burial, Associated Aviation Flight 361, the plane carrying his corpse together with 13 passengers and 7 crew members, crashed after takeoff from Murtala Muhammad International Airport. It was again tears, pains, and anguish as family and friends who were to come to terms with his sudden death were informed about the tragic occurrence.
Ọjọ́ tó bá kú
This made it 10 years since the death of former governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Agagu. Nonetheless, his legacies and the achievements have continued to reverberate across the country. The 14th, but the 4th executive governor of Ondo State is still being remembered for the establishment of a microcredit agency endowed with over 3.2 billion naira to give credit to farmers, workers, and entrepreneurs. Similarly, late Dr. Agagu succeeded in rehabilitating over 1,000 kilometers of road in 5 years compared to his predecessors since 1976 with just 500.
A gym that everybody enjoyed. We never owed a salary. We didn't borrow a kobo.
Speaking on the legacies of the former governor, Mr. Olaiton Ayeni described Dr. Agagu as a son that glowed across Ondo during his tenure. He recounted the indelible footprint of Agagu, whom he called an administrator by excellence.
Dr. Olusegun Agagu is a forthright man, highly intelligent, and he understands what is called planning.
The former Minister of Aviation and later Power and Steel constructed 600 Model 6 classroom blocks across the 18 local government areas of the state, with another 200 under construction at the time he left office. Also to his credit, late Dr. Agagu constructed 200 basic health care centers, one in each of the 203 wards in the state. It is on record that his administration turned around the 4.4% water coverage in 2003 to 52% by 2007. As a man with passion for agriculture, the late governor built 102 youth farms, while 1 million seedlings of cocoa and teak were provided for farmers yearly with a robust poverty alleviation program, acclaimed by the United Nations Development Programs (UNDP) as one of the best in Africa.
He has a passion for agriculture. He has a passion for youth development. He has a passion for everything about life. And I remember today that his words are still living on me personally. Sir, transparency.
The coastal communities in Laje, Eseodo, Okitipupa, and Rile Council areas would always remember Agagu's efforts at making life more bearable for inhabitants.
He launched Ondo State into the millennium. He brought in about this thing, Olokola Deep Sea Port. He initiated it. Dangote, the refinery, was supposed to be in Ondo State. He initiated it. The gas pipeline that was to be in Ondo State, he initiated it. Unfortunately, immediately he left.
To enhance the development of South Central District, late Governor Agagu established the then Ondo State University of Science and Technology in Okitipupa, which has since been changed to Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology to immortalize him by the present Akeredolu administration. No doubt, the people of Ondo State and his immediate family members would continue to miss the iconic Agagu.
Dr. Agagu is a people's person, and that summarizes him.
Before his election as governor in 2003, Agagu was a former minister of power under President Olusegun Obasanjo. He was also a minister of aviation between 1999 and 2001. Kunle Ariyo, Osrc News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria may be asked to withdraw its audited annual financial report, which were released last month. This came after a team investigating the Apex Bank discovered discrepancies and irregularities in the financial account. In August, the CBN released its financial account for the year 2016 to 2022 amid an ongoing probe of the financial services sector regulator by a special investigator appointed by President Bola Tinubu. Tinubu had on July 28 appointed a former chief executive officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Jim Obaze, as special investigator to probe the activities of the Apex Bank under its suspended governor, Godwin Emefiele. Aside from the CBN, the special investigator is also investigating the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, FRC, and other government business entities. And now, a Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has convicted and sentenced the former Special Advisor to Dan Abia, SY Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, George Tuna, and 2 others to 6 years imprisonment for obtaining money on pretense. The 2 others, Ebis Orubebe and Uzogo Chidebere, sentenced alongside Tuna by presiding judge Justice A.T. Mohammed, were also convicted of money laundering, conversion of funds, and forgery contrary to Section 1, subsection 1A of the Advance Fee Fraud and other fraud by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in May 2017 and rearranged 4 years later on 23 counts bordering on obtaining by false pretense, money laundering, and abuse of office to the tune of nearly 3 billion naira. EFCC spokesman Wilson Owujare, while expressing satisfaction with the verdict, said the men, having been found guilty of charges preferred against them, will serve their jail terms in Port Harcourt. And now to court cases challenging victories at the polls. The National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Umaya has upheld the election of Senator representing Abia North Senatorial District in the February 25 polls. A three-man panel led by Justice Samson Paul Gang in its unanimous ruling dismissed the petition of People's Democratic Party's Mao Obumwa and Labour Party's Namdi Iro-Oji for lacking merit while upholding the victory of Kalu of the All Progressives Congress (APC). The tribunal judges also faulted the arguments of both petitioners that the election did not hold in over 120 polling units, mainly in Oafia and Arochukwu local government areas of the zone. The tribunal also considered the arguments of the PDP and Labour Party that the total number of registered voters in the allegedly affected polling units was far above the margin of win between Kalu and the first and second runners-up. The court, in its constitutional interpretation, equally validated Kalu's eligibility to contest the election, stating that his trial and conviction by the Supreme Court. Kalu, who currently presides as the Chairman Senate Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, was declared winner by INEC of the keenly contested February 25 senatorial polls. Also, the National Assembly Elections Petitions Tribunal sitting in Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos State, validated the election victory of Thaddeus Atta of the Labour Party as a duly elected representative for Etiosa Federal Constituency. In a late-night judgment delivered on Monday, the tribunal ruled that the elections were inconclusive and directed the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to conduct a supplementary election within 90 days in all polling units where voting did not take place. Nigerian singer and actor Bankole Wellington, popularly known as Banky W of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), who was declared the runner-up in the February 2023 election, and the All Progressives Congress (APC) candidate Babajide Obanikoro, had both filed petitions challenging the election results. The electoral umpire had earlier declared Atta the winner with 24,075 votes, while Banky W polled 18,668 and Obanikoro gathered 16,901 votes. The Lagos State Police Command has confirmed one Onwagu Emmanuel for allegedly impersonating a commissioner of police to felicitate the release of a suspect from the force headquarters in the state. The state's Commissioner of Police Idowu Owonwawa, through the command's public relations officer Benjamin Odein, during the parade of Emmanuel along with other suspects, said luck ran out of the suspect at the police headquarters, Ikeja. He explained that the suspect was arrested when he approached the police with a fake identification card to facilitate the release of another suspect who had earlier been nabbed for his involvement in different crimes. Meanwhile, the command also paraded one Ibrahim Bello for claiming to be a lawyer and rendering legal services for unsuspecting Nigerians. Meanwhile, a Lagos-based security man, Samuel Adeniyi, has been remanded at the National Center for allegedly smashing the head of his girlfriend, Morolake Sunday, with a sledgehammer. Magistrate Patrick Nwaka of the Yaba Magistrate Court ordered that the 33-year-old be remanded after he was brought to court on one count of murder. The police prosecutor, Thomas Nuruddin, told the court that the incident occurred at Lekki Phase 1 of Lagos State in August. According to the prosecutor, the defendant claimed that his lover was cheating on him and was never satisfied sexually. The Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Emeka Nwoye, has said the late Divisional Police Officer of Awoda, Bako Agbashim, played into the hands of his killer. To the late Superintendent of Police that they were ready to turn in their arms if they would be granted amnesty in return. He disclosed this during a solidarity protest by a human rights advocate, Charles Jaja, at the headquarters of the State Police Command in Port Harcourt. Nwoye expressed regret that the late Agbashim trusted the miscreant only for him to release the deceased in death. The CP, however, said that by the action of the quarter's criminal element would no longer have breathing space in Rivers State. And the Acting Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, has announced the establishment of an by the Nigerian Police Force in line with the Firearms Act and other extant laws in the interest of public safety and general security. The Police High Command revealed that the committee's mandate would encompass a thorough assessment of current firearms licensing procedures and regulations to enhance their effectiveness, transparency, and accountability. According to the Police Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Dijobi, the force headquarters also said the police will engage with relevant stakeholders, including legal experts, civil society organizations, and experts in the field to ensure a holistic and well-informed review. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, has declared that the sit-at-home order enforced by indigenous people of Biafra IPOB across the southeast states has ended. It told the record that IPOB 2 years ago commenced the sit-at-home order to demand the release of its leader Nnamdi Kanu from prison. The order impacted the economy in the region and resulted in the loss of lives and properties of residents in the southeast. However, while speaking at the Chief of Army Staff Combined 2nd and 3rd Quarters Conference in Abuja, Lagbaja said the menace ended as a result of the heightened efforts of his men and collaboration with relevant stakeholders. While calling for concerted efforts in containing criminalities in the entire region by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and Eastern Security Network, Lagbaja insisted the infamous order that has almost crippled socio-economic activities in the southeast region has gone for good. Students of the University of Jos Plateau State have blocked roads leading to the campus in protest following an increase in school fees and other services rendered by the institution. The student protesters, who were mobilized by leaders of the student union government of the institution, called for an urgent reversal of the hike in school fees and other services rendered by the university, and with placards with different inscriptions such as, "If your children can afford the money, we can't, and we don't want to drop out of school," among others. The protesting students said the latest increment in school fees was one decision too many. The student claimed Nigerians were already going through a lot of hardship, hence the need for the authorities not to complicate the already bad situation. We go on a quick break, and when we return, we bring you more stories. Please stay with us. And now to the foreign scene. Greece shipping minister has resigned over comments he made on television following the death of a man who was allegedly pushed off a ferry by crew members. Metadis Vavitosi media showed the 36-year-old passenger running onto the Blue Horizon Ferry's loading ramp as it was preparing to sail from Athens to its destination. And with that, we conclude the news tonight, but before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has sacked the entire media crew attached to the office of his deputy, just as he instructed the Ondo State Ministry of Information to take over the coverage of all activities of Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa with immediate effect. The National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal has upheld the election of former Abia State Governor Orji Uzakalu as duly elected senator of Abia North Senatorial District, just as the Labour Party candidate earlier announced as winner of Etiosa Federal Constituency in Lagos, Thaddeus Atta, now has waited to know his final fate following the verdict ordering a rerun in 32 polling units. Students of University of Unijus have blocked the major roads leading to the institution and a protest over what they describe as insensitivity on the part of concerned authorities who recently announced a hike in their tuition fees. And finally, from the foreign scene, we told you that the Greek shipping minister Miltiades Varoufakis has resigned his appointment following outcry that greeted unguarded remarks he allegedly made on national television while commenting on the death of a man pushed off the ferry by the sailing crew. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much.